Welcome to today's video. I'm the Hooded Lid and I'm doing something new for me. I'm finally going to try a Will I Buy It. I've seen many people do this. I think Samantha March is the person who started it, so thank you very much, Samantha. Today will be the Hooded Lid's interpretation, which I'm sure will be different. So I went through the usual suspects on Instagram and I put together a small list of things that are slightly interesting as opposed to things that are not even worth mentioning. It's like, no. These are things like, oh, maybe they would be the usual suspects, but let's see. So I'm going to try to do a split screen if I can figure it out. If I can't, I'll do the usual where I'm talking and you're seeing the picture of what I'm talking about. Let's get into it. First thing, when I woke up today, I don't know why, I don't go to Instagram every day, but I just had something calling me, and I think it was the spirit of Natasha Denota saying, go to Instagram, I got something to tell you. And indeed she does. She has a new palette. This is the same size. This is the size she's been doing most recently, the same as Love, Bronze, and Sunrise. And it's silver, juxtaposing the bronze of the bronze palette. So now she's going the other way for the people who are like, I'm sick of warm colors, or warm colors don't work on me. And I actually set my alarm because she said she's going to reveal it at 3 o'clock New York time. I've never done that. That's a little neurotic. But set my alarm, she revealed it, then I went to Trend Mood and she had some swatches. And her swatches were really pretty, not gonna lie, really pretty. 2/3 of this palette, 2 rows of this palette are shimmer, glimmer, duochrome, whatever. Only one is matte. And one of those might not even be matte, I'm not sure. They're really pretty though. Those mattes are really pretty. I'm not a person who gets a lot of use out of shimmers and whatnot because of my hoodedness. They just don't show. But I have to buy Natasha Denota. I do love her palette. So yes, I am going to buy it. Second thing, it's not really a will I buy it. It is Ulta is having their 21 Days of Beauty. If you're interested in me doing something on that, let me know. But that is coming up. In fact, we might already be in it. It might be a day or two in. If that's something that is interesting to you, whether you want to see it from me or not, heads up, go to ultas.com and see what's going on. Melt Cosmetics Digital Dust Duo Blushes. First of all, this packaging, I love. The imprinting, how they put together those powders, I love. I love that honeycomb thing. A lot of people do. In fact, Fenty loves it. I shall say no more. These colors, however, do not look like blushes to me. They look like highlighters. They are incredibly sparkly. I do not understand how this is a blush, and the colors are super duper orange. Again, I don't understand how these are blushes. Maybe it's the swatches. I will say, if you're new here, hi, welcome. I complain about marketing all the time, and one of the things that bothers me the most is they set up these glam photo shoots to make something look good instead of making it look accurate. Maybe that's the case for these swatches and these images, because they sure don't look like blushes. I'm not going to be buying them, and I don't think I'll ever buy anything from Melt again. I'm kind of over this brand. Their eyeshadows are awful. If you are crepey, you're gonna have such a hard time blending this. The colors they put together, they'll put a bunch of colors that are so similar to each other, it just doesn't justify having them both in there, because you won't see the difference on the eyelid. I'm just done with Melt, and this product just kind of helps enforce that doneness that I'm feeling in my heart for this particular company. So no, I will not be buying it. NARS Soft Matte Foundation. I love the Soft Matte Concealer. Ooh, I need to check my concealer. Yeah. I was wearing my glasses earlier. And I put this on for you guys today. And yeah, it doesn't look so hot. But I microneedled the other day, so it's super dry under there. I love this because I feel like, even though it's a cream, when you just press it on with your fingers, the heat of your fingers seems to melt it in. And I'm kind of interested in the foundation. It is a matte. And I'm not a huge matte person, but from time to time, matte's okay. And also, I start with a very shiny face because of my sunscreen and my moisturizer, so it might not look matte on me. My main problem is their colors. They have, I think, 33 colors, and yet they don't have a color for me because I'm the oddest color in the world, clearly. There is nobody on the planet with this color skin but me. How am I so odd that there's not a color here? I decided several months ago that I'm no longer going to be buying foundations where I need 2 colors because I'm spending twice as much money, and there's a little cynical part of me that wonders if companies do this because they know that there are people out there who buy 2 colors if they can't find the color that's right for them, because their colors run very, very orange. And I've tried for years, and I just feel like, especially since we can't swatch anything and we can't get testers of anything, that it's just a risk I don't want to take. That's how I feel. However, if you want me to go out and risk it, I will, because that's my job. But for me personally, no. So get back to me on that. Bite Yay Slayer lip gloss. Plumping lip gloss, I should add. Okay, the colors, you know, we've seen them before. I'm not sure how sheer they might be. There is cinnamon in here instead of a peppermint in here, and I gotta tell you, I don't know. If they're plumping, it's probably a lot of cinnamon, and I have heard that cinnamon oil is actually really drying, which is not something I need. And the applicator, you guys, am I just a total pervert, or is this sexual? Let me know, because I'm feeling like this applicator is strange. I'm not sure about it. I don't know if I could own it if I wanted to. Another lip gloss coming out I am interested in is from Tower 28. So I reviewed this little beauty, the orange one, several months ago. It feels a lot like the Visearts, and I love the Visearts. Love these. Not exactly, but very, very similar. And these are only $19. I mean, the price difference isn't much, and they're both attainable. When I looked at those other colors, I felt that they were, for lack of a better word, immature, unsophisticated. They were the Otter Pop colors, if you remember Otter Pops, kind of the blues and the raspberries, and I just thought, there's not a lot of pigmentation to them, but still, I don't want blue lips unless I've actually had an Otter Pop. So I didn't get anything else, but these colors are much more neutral and they're much more interesting to me. So there's Oat, which is a peachy pink, Coconut, which is a mauve pink, Cashew, which is a rosy brown, and Almond, which is a chocolate. If you also are craving a smoothie right now, I can see why. Some oat milk, coconut milk, cashew milk, almond milk, and then put in some peaches and put on some rose petals or rose essence and maybe a little bit of chocolate. It sounds fantastic. But, I wonder if they'll make them taste good. The chocolate one actually seems kind of interesting to me, so I think I'm going to get at least one of these. Chantecaille has the fall collection out. It is comprised of 3 new lip products and 3 eyeshadows in a palette. There's a bronze, let's see what we have here, a burnished gold, a strong copper, and a soft taupe. The soft taupe actually sounds kind of interesting to me. I love a taupe, but coppers, we all have enough copper in our life, I think, and we all have enough gold in our life, and I'm just not feeling it. If you, however, want me to get this and try it on for you and do some swatches for you, let me know. I will. But for me personally, no. And the lip products, again, I don't find, if I'm not mixing this up with another product, I don't believe that I find these to be incredibly comfortable, the lip veils. They seem a little waxy, but I could be mixing them up with their lipsticks. I'm not sure if they're different because they're all kind of shaped the same. But the colors they have is a plum, cinnamon brown, and a tawny rose. Look, I don't think every color has to be completely different. It's a combination of maybe just something slightly different than everything else with a formula different than everything else. I'm not sure. This is definitely something I would go into, I forget what the name of the store is, Blue Mercury, and try it on and see. But the try-on days are over, my friends, and I'm not sure. But this is one I would be willing to buy if you want me to, so let me know below. So here's something a little exciting. Reboot, which is a perfume house, I believe it's a Swedish perfume house, is coming out with cosmetics. They recently did something with Way, a collaboration with Way on their dry shampoo, and I just bought it the other day. The scent of that is Ghost, Mojave Ghost. And it's interesting because I bought this because it smelled so insane, and I have tried that perfume before and I didn't really like it that much. As a perfume line, they're really hit and miss for me. They're very promising. Their openings are really usually very interesting, and then they become completely monotonous, typical, and boring. I'm probably the only person, not in the world, but not too many people seem to say that, but I find them to be kind of monotonous in their dry down. And I only have owned one. There was one I really loved. I was really into it. And then after 20 minutes, I'm like, oh my God, it's so mundane. So I'm not sure if they're going to do the same thing with the makeup, flash you out with the great opening and then, oh my God, it's so mundane. In this case, the great opening is the packaging. It's crazy. It is really compelling, and it makes me think, okay, tell me more. But I'm waiting for more. I need to know what else is coming out and maybe who the creative director is. I want to hear about the formulations. Naturally, I want to see them and smell them and try them on, which we know we can't do, but this one I'm kind of interested in. So I'm waiting for more details, and there's a chance I'm going to dip my toe into that pond. Another NARS product, they have a new eyeshadow palette. I think it's called Climax, which doesn't make any sense. Climax Extreme. It's not that interesting to me. I have to say, it reminds me somewhat, if you put them side to side, they're not alike, but it reminds me of the Viseart Spritz that came out a couple of months ago, and I looked at that and thought, I don't know, no. You know when something just strikes your fancy and you're like, oh yeah, I could see myself wearing this. And this, I get that same response too. It has some warm colors and it has some mauvey colors and some chocolatey colors, and I get it. Oh, okay, this is a fall kind of thing, but I don't know. I'd like to see it in person. How many times am I going to say that? Maybe. Let me know if you want me to do it, and I will. I'm thinking about it. If I see it in person and it knocks my socks off, I will. My Sephora is not getting things. I'm buying things online because I was at Sephora yesterday and they didn't have so many things. I don't know if they're like at the bottom of the food chain or something, or what's going on, but to find the new products, I have to get them online. So if you want me to do something soon, I have to get it online without benefit of seeing it. So the only reason I'm going to be doing that is because you guys said you want me to. Too Faced has another seasonal palette, a fall palette, and this one is called Pumpkin, just Pumpkin. Yeah. So last year they did Gingerbread Extreme, and the year before that they did Gingerbread. I own Gingerbread Extreme, and I really like it a lot. The powders for Too Faced, and say what you will about everything else, I consider them to be really kind of young brand. They're not from my age group, and they move pretty fast with new products, I feel like. But their eyeshadows are really, really good if you have crepey lids. They don't get caught, they don't skip. They are a dream to blend. They almost don't need blending. You just put it on and it's like, oh, it's already blended. Unlike Melt. But this palette, it looks confused to me. There's a couple of colors in there that look very similar to Gingerbread Extra. And it kind of reminds me of the peach palette, where it's like all these peaches and stuff. And okay, well, there's a green. Okay, that would be for the leaf of the peach. And I understand why they put the purple in there, because there's purple if you cut open the peach. But it just seemed like all this lovely peachy pinky stuff and then these purples. What? Same thing with this. Like the last row does not relate to the first 2 rows, and I'm kind of like, what? It just doesn't look interesting to me. But if it looks interesting to you, I can tell you that I really like these powders. They're pigmented, but not too pigmented. You can build them up if you want to or need to, and if you have crepiness on your lids, you're not going to have a problem with them, unless they change the formula for this. But for me, I'm not going to buy this. It looks schizophrenic to me. It looks confused. Okay, just for the packaging, I have to mention Estee Lauder's coming out with a collection. The colors are like, so what, who cares? The packaging is insane. And if you are someone who's into packaging, you might want to take a look at it just to get 1 or 2 pieces. It is the Met collection. Now I saw this on somebody's page who I think is Russian. I don't read Russian, so I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's coming out in the United States is what I'm trying to get to. It is called the Met, and the Met is in fact in New York, which happens to be located in the United States of America, so it's possible. But then again, they might be selling the glamour of the Met to other countries. I don't know. But it's something you might want to check out if you're really into really special packaging. And finally, another one, I don't know if it's coming out in the United States because it said Bobbi Brown UK, which makes me think this is only going to be in the UK, which makes me think, boo-hoo. Why do you deny us this, Bobbi Brown? Estee Lauder? Ron What's-His-Face? Because I am interested in a 5-pan from Bobbi Brown. The big palettes, I have one of them. The rest of them are kind of, I don't know, some of the colors you're like, oh yeah, pretty, but not really. Her singles are huge. They're great if you want the perfect cream color, and now you have some perfect cream color that you can bring to every other palette if you need to. But these palettes that I'm seeing, these 5-pans, are kind of compelling to me. They're small, they fit in your purse, they are contained in their color. They're not saying, hi, you can get 14 looks out of this. It's pretty much 1 or 2 looks. And the blue one kind of reminds me of something Armani did that I never bought. So I am interested in this. I hope it comes to the United States because I might pull the trigger on something out of these 5-pans. And that's it, my friends. That is my very first. Will I buy it? I hope I did okay. Let me know below if there's something you want me to buy, and I will. But for me personally, I think the 2 things I'm really interested in, well, there's one more that I haven't mentioned. I will. The 2 things I'm going to get definitely are the Denona palette and the Tower lip glosses. There's one other thing. I don't know anything about this brand. It's Elsie, and I used to think Elsie was something you got at Ulta. I thought it was a drugstore brand, but based on the price of this blush, that's not a drugstore price. But she has 2, Elsie is a woman's name, so I'm going to say she. There's 2 blushes, a pink and a peach, and this design is really compelling to me. It's kind of like sand dunes. And I like the variations of color in each one. So you could go in with your brush, right? And just grab 2 of the colors. Let's say my hand is the palette. You just grab here. Or if you just want to get something, one of the colors, you can go in with an eyeshadow brush. Boop, boop, boop. You can apply blush with an eyeshadow brush. You can. I have one that's fluffier than this that would work better. They are compelling. They're $30. I don't know, because I've never tried the brand. It is pretty. I am thinking about it. We'll see. Let me know, again, if you want me to. And now, that's going to wrap it up. So, thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope it was helpful to you, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe and smart, and I'm wishing you good health.